Good YouTube. How's everyone doing? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another reaction video. If you're new here for the first time, my name is TMR, and since you clicked on this video, you might as well subscribe to this YouTube channel and make sure you click that notification bell. Leave your comments down below and enjoy this reaction video. What's good YouTube? What's good, TMR gang? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to yet another live reaction video. You have just entered the Break Room Chronicles. What breaks in only 15 minutes, but y'all over here, we break for 1 damn hour. Hey, you guys, what's good? Happy Tuesday to each and every one of you all. I hope you guys are feeling good and doing great. Thank y'all so much for stopping what you were doing and meet me over in the damn break room, y'all. Oh boy, okay, y'all see the title. All right, so the last time we was on here, we was dealing with my jazzy life and Pizzagate, okay? The pizza delivery man. Well, child, we back, okay? Not even 24 hours later. And now we got Landlord Gate, okay? So if you guys are not aware, my jazzy life went live yesterday to let us know that y'all need to stop playing with her livelihood over there with her and her family. She said she had a knock at the door, okay? And it was an unexpected knock. She said it was the knock of her landlord over there. I mean, yeah, that's not good, sis. If the landlord coming, I mean, it's only two things he coming. Either you called him or you didn't pay your rent, okay? Unless you called him because you know there was something broke in your house and he came over to fix it. Well, child, you ain't paid that damn rent, okay? So we know it wasn't about rent. Cause shoot, today the first of the month. Wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the first of the month. Okay, so we know today is the first of the month. So child, he got to at least give her a chance to go to the bank and get her damn money order over there. So it definitely didn't have anything to do with that. But after listening to her live, she said, child, folks calling on her over there. Okay, she said somebody didn't call her landlord trying to get her put out of her damn house. I said, well, I said, oh, well, I mean, yeah, that's not good, sis. That's not good at all, honey. You said, so the landlord came without calling first? Well, you know, sis, I guess they can do that. You know what I mean? I guess the landlord can do that. If they feel like there's a concern with their property, yeah, because it's their property. Now, they just can't take the key and walk into your house, but they can definitely come over there and knock on the door and don't necessarily got to tell you that they coming, right? From my understanding, if the landlord has a concern or an issue, now, technically, he should call just to make sure you're at home because he can't enter your apartment without your or your house without your acknowledgement. Now, if there's an emergency, a pipe bust or something like that, you know, maybe he could go in without your permission because it's an emergency. But if he coming on some on a humbug, you know, I don't think he necessarily got to call and say, hey, you there, you at the house? Because I'm about to come through. And then he knows, the landlord probably knows shit, Jasmine don't go anywhere. So he figured she was gonna be at the house any damn way. Okay. You said, why did we need to know about her landlord conversation? It's the overstating for me. Yeah, that's true, sis. That's true, Scarlett. You said, what good is her mom if she can't her to be quiet? People keep bothering her because she reveals that she's so bothered. Shaking my head. West Coaster bus. Jasmine hasn't figured that out yet. You know, Jasmine hasn't figured out you don't let the left hand know what the right hand's doing, you know. But let's be honest, y'all. Jasmine uses her life as content. Just like when CPS shows up at her house or at the school, she may not tell you right when it happens, but eventually Jasmine will say CPS. I've never in my life seen somebody that just can't keep stuff to themselves. I've never seen anybody like Jasmine. Like she literally has diarrhea at the mouth, you know. Now the pizza man showing up at your house. I mean, me personally, okay, the pizza man showed up. You didn't order no pizza. You didn't order a pizza. Okay, send the pizza man on his way, right? The landlord showed up because apparently or allegedly someone from the internet is calling her landlord and dropping tea to the landlord about what they feel like may be going on in Jasmine's house. Now I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't know why someone would do that. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But what I will tell you, and this is what bothers me about Jasmine. Oh God. I've said this many times. Jasmine literally has the mind of a grapefruit. Okay? Grapefruit. Now, y'all know, y'all been watching TMR for quite some time. Okay? And the fact that Jasmine will get on her live stream and the people in her chat will insinuate, or she insinuates, that the reactors, like myself, would even think about calling Jasmine's landlord. Hell, I don't even know what street Jasmine lives on. I have no idea which street that lady lives on, nor do I care, because I'm not going, when I go to Texas, I was just in Texas last month. Child didn't go nowhere near the city of Austin, okay? And if I had a reason to go to Austin, Texas, child, I'm not going to see my jazzy damn life. For what? But I understand there are people out here that don't have good sense that God gave a goose, okay? I do understand that, right? Jasmine herself needs to understand that. It's her job to protect her family. If the internet is what she wants to do, right? It's your job to safeguard your family. You can't expect for people to do the right thing. Because guess what? If people did the right thing, the jails would not be full of criminals. Okay? You can't, just like, okay, I know that people break into houses, right? I can't expect for that a person will come by my house and not say, you know what, I ain't gonna break into that house because I like how they keep their lawn cut. So I'm gonna go to the next house. No, what I do is I safeguard my house by installing security cameras, security alarms. I keep my doors locked. I keep my windows locked because I can't expect for the world to respect me, right? That's the reality. That's the reality, that you cannot expect for people to do the right thing because people don't do the right thing. The fact that Jasmine gets on this camera, I can't believe you guys will take a house from kids, and I can't believe you guys would try to get me put out of my house. And you know what, Jasmine, you're right. I can't believe people would want to do that. But the reality is, people will do that. Okay? Yeah. And Jasmine feels like she gets on this camera and gives out her PSAs as if that's a compelling enough to make people want to stop. What I have said this many, 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 many times. Okay? Jasmine, you need to stop going live. You go live way too much. And when you go live, it gives people additional access to what potentially could be going on in your home, right? You said maybe it's her neighbors. Jasmine has been living in that house for what, about 2 years? I know for sure 2 years because Thinkabug is going on 2 this year. So she's been living in that house a little, maybe about, I'm just say 2 years, okay? And Jasmine has said before that the landlord has came to her house for whatever those reasons are, right? Now we know, we've watched Jasmine. Um, we've seen Jasmine's garage. We've seen her garage is a whole hot mess. We've seen her backyard, all them damn holes in her backyard. We've seen Jasmine's kitchen, refrigerator all dented up, her cabinet door up to her sink, falling off the hinges, holes in the wall. Y'all, we've seen all of that. And, the reality is people watching might feel compelled to do a little digging and figure out who's the person. Y'all, let's be honest. If you know her address, and again, I'm not saying people should be walking around with t-shirts with Jasmine's address on, but the reality is people can find that information out. And people can feel like, compelled to be like, girl, you tearing up that nice house. That house don't belong to you. So what, you pay rent every month? You ain't got the right to be living in a house and tearing it up, right? And they might feel like, well, let me call the people on you. Let me call the landlord. Because all it would take is, if you know her address, all you got to do is go to the state, what do you call it? The deeds office in her state. And all you got to do is type in her address and find out who's the owner of that home. And that's how you would find out who the owner, the landlord, or whatever. Okay. You said Philip girlfriend knows the CPS information too. Okay, Philip's girlfriend knows the CPS information. What's CPS information? That's literally giving more people the ideal to do it. She is seriously simple. She needs a therapist or a life coach. Jasmine, she says a lot. You guys are not going to run me off this internet. But sis, I'm going to be honest with you. Sometimes it feels like, in my opinion, listening to her, sis, you probably shouldn't be up here because you're going through too much to get a couple of dollars off the internet. Sis, like, you go through a whole bunch on this internet. Okay. Now, y'all think back to the channels that you guys watch. Okay, you guys watch a lot of channels. Okay, y'all just don't watch these mommies. Y'all watch an array of mommies. Okay, and I'm gonna give you guys an example. Simply being Sabrina. She's a mom here on YouTube. She's been on YouTube for quite some time. I believe she used to live in Las Vegas, and now she lives I think she lives in Austin, Texas, but I know she lives in Texas. We got Life of Kiara, okay? We got Jazzy, okay? We have Chrissy Marie, okay? We have Zanidia, okay? Child, we even have Peach McIntyre, okay? Just to name a few moms. How many of these moms, if you guys are watching any of these moms on the internet, how many of these moms have ever did videos saying that their landlord's been called? Oh, she's back in Vegas? Oh, okay, Capricorn lady. How many of these landlords, how many of these moms have said their landlord's been called? I watch all these ladies. I don't think I've ever heard or seen a title saying they called my landlord, right? The fact that Jasmine gets all this harassment, and I'm going to tell you why she does. I'm going to tell y'all why. Jasmine doesn't know it, or maybe she doesn't want to admit to it. All those moms I just showed y'all, Sabrina, Life of Kiara, Just Jazzy, Chrissy Marie, and even Peach, Zanidia. One thing that these moms have not shown, that Jasmine has shown repeatedly on this internet, is being neglectful to their children. Sabrina is pregnant. That's one thing that they have not shown on this internet. They have not shown being neglectful to their children. But Jasmine has. Now, people understand that people make, as women, we understand that you make wrong decisions with a man, like you dealing with a man that really is not, beneficial to you. He ain't really helping you. Stuff like that happens, right? It shouldn't happen, but, it happens. But one thing women don't like is when you're neglectful to your children. And Jasmine has shown a history, a pattern and history of neglectful behavior when it comes to her children. And that's why people don't respect her goofy butt on this internet. But she don't get that. Jasmine feels like, oh, well, I don't lock my twins up in the room anymore and let them scream hysterically. Yeah, I don't do that anymore. But the fact is, sis, you've done it. And you've done it more than once. When those twins were little, oh, sis, it was horrible. It was horrible to watch how those twins would be screaming and howling at the top of their lungs. And you would be sitting on a live stream talking about you tuning it out, right? That's what people don't like about Jasmine. Or there's been many times that she has been on a live stream and her kids will be asking or telling her they're hungry. And instead of most mothers, most M-O-S-T, most mothers, when their children come to them and say that they're hungry, the response from most mothers is, what you want to eat? Jasmine's response is, you just ate. Now, you just ate could have been an hour ago, 4 hours ago, yesterday. But again, to some people, that feels like you're refusing food to your children. And there are people that were once children and now adults, because let's just be honest, most people that watch Jasmine are adults, okay? They're triggered by that because there are a lot of adults that were children who suffered by the hands of a person who's supposed to be their guardian, refusing food to them. There are some people out there that is triggered by that. So Jasmine's behavior on this internet has triggered a lot of people. So some people might say, well, why are y'all still watching? She don't trigger me, right? She doesn't trigger me. I think Jasmine is goofy and funny, okay? But the reality is I can't control how people consume the internet, right? So maybe people don't, maybe they're not watching. Maybe they are watching. Maybe people are glutton for punishment. I don't know. Or maybe some people are just, they watch because they just hope one day things will change. Just even here recently, Jasmine did a video where her second to the oldest daughter was in the kitchen talking to her, and the little girl was shown was just having on a cami and a pair of panties. For the life of me, Jasmine couldn't understand why the people were outraged by the fact that she did it not once but twice within 2 weeks, where she showed her two oldest daughters not properly dressed to be on the internet. For the life of me, Jasmine doesn't understand it. And that's why Jasmine gets what she gets on this internet, because she doesn't get it. She never gets it. Jasmine is known as a neglectful mother on this internet. Regardless if she feels like she's neglectful or not, the things that she has shown and put out here on the internet for the world to consume, a lot of people feel like she is a neglectful mother. And that's why, and I'm not saying it's right? I'm not saying it's right. Yes, Jasmine makes sure she pays the rent, she pays the utilities, she does put food in the house. She does those things. Yes, she does. But there's been a lot of history of Jasmine. A lot of people take it as being neglectful when it comes to her children. Okay. Hey, Kiara. J-Lo say people don't play with the abuse, neglect, or bad behavior as a mother. That's why the people calling CPS, the landlord, and the cops on her. Right, J-Lo? People don't play with that, And again, but my thing is, even with all that being said, okay, in no way do I have a reason to call on Jasmine, because I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. She puts it on the internet. I consume it. We talk about it. And that's where I draw the line, right? As far as me taking my additional time to look up addresses and find out who's the owner of her home, calling Chris's job, I feel like that's ridiculous. Like it's going above and beyond what a reaction is. A reaction is putting pieces of information together that you see on the internet, compiling that together and reacting off of it. To me, that's a reaction, right? Doing all that additional stuff, in my opinion, is not a reaction. It's, to me, it's yeah, that's, child, you being extremely busy. Now, some might say, oh, Jasmine lying, the landlord didn't show up. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I think she's telling the truth, right? Because if a person or persons is calling someone enough, especially a person who is a homeowner. What's up, Freddy's? A person who is a homeowner, and they keep making, complaints of what they could see on the internet. As a homeowner, I'm going to my rental property and I'm going to check on it. Because again, at the end of the day, that's my rental property. And if I have to kick this renter out, or even when this renter decides to move, whatever damages are done, I'm responsible as the homeowner. So if I can periodically go in and check and see what's going on, just to ensure that my house is not being tore up as a homeowner, I'm going to do that. Because at the end of the day, people living in houses and apartments need to respect the property that they're living in. Like, but let's be honest, a lot of people don't do that. Wait for it says, you're right, Tim. I wasn't neglected, but I had a poor childhood. It definitely sad for me to watch. I viewed maybe 3 of her shabby lives. That's all. I disliked her content after that. Most people do, because let's be honest, y'all. As a mom vlogger, Jasmine really doesn't. She doesn't really present much. Like, she don't really have much going on, and people nitpick about parenting, right? I remember when my kids were little and I would say things to my mom, and I would say things to my mom, and she'll say, oh, you shouldn't tell the kids that, or you shouldn't do this. And I remember saying to my mom one day, I said, hey, Mom, like, these are my children. Just because you disagree in the way that I'm parenting my kids, you can definitely disagree. But at the end of the day, these are my children. I'm going to make the decisions over here, right? And my mom respected that, because as my brother and I were young and my mom was raising us, and my grandmother would interject on things, my mom had the same conversation with her mother. I didn't say it disrespectfully or rude, because that's my mother. I would never disrespect or be rude to my mom. But as an adult and as a mother myself, I had to say to her, Mom, these are my kids. So again, Jasmine might feel like the things that she do on her channel is okay for her and her household. But again, once you open it up to the entire world, you just got to understand that everybody raises their kids differently, and people will have opinions opposed to what you projecting and putting out on the internet. That's just the reality. You said someone called the landlord and asked the landlord, said that none of this happened. But that's the thing. Who would take the time to even call the landlord? No, really, y'all. For what? For what? No, really. For what? I don't care nothing about these ladies, landlords, where they men work at, where I don't. But again, that's just me, y'all. Maybe there are people out here that really do care. Okay. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if it's the truth or not about Jasmine's situation, but the reality is, because Jasmine keeps exposing herself on the internet, that's why she gets what she gets on this internet. You say, I'm sorry, Tasha, I have to disagree. All Jazz do is lie. I don't believe her. Why didn't she video the landlord coming to her house? I would have. Where is the receipts? You're right, sis, but think about it. If the landlord is coming to your house because of calls they're getting from the internet, and once Jasmine realized that's the reason, why would she put the camera on the landlord when she knows the landlord is there for the whole reasons of the internet? And let's be honest, the landlord knows she does YouTube for a living, right? I mean, think about it. Would you sit and put the camera in your landlord's face? Yeah, no. For what? You know what I'm saying? And not only that, putting the camera on the landlord. Now, obviously, she could have probably did some audio, right? Or, to put the camera on the landlord, obviously, y'all, is breaching his identity to the internet. Because, if the landlord has social media, they probably don't do social media like Jasmine does. Their social media is probably for family and friends, not for, entertainment purposes, basis the way Jasmine uses social media. Okay. Because they want to expose the lies. Okay. Yeah, some people care too much, and the calling of jobs landlords wherever is sending these pizzas. It's just so dumb. Yeah, it is. What I don't get is how is she still after 10 plus years on YouTube? People talk about her negativity every day. They rage on her no good for nothing boyfriend, and she's not humiliated. Miss TLD said, I have had that conversation with my son about his kids. I just step back and play the grandmother role, spoil them and send them home. That's all you can do. But again, it's different when you're dealing with the internet versus, a family member, because again, the internet don't really have to feel warm and fuzzy about you. And just see, Jasmine feels like people who are subscribed to her channel are forever in love with her. And the reality is, since they just follow you on social media. Now, I'm not going to say people don't like you, but people don't have to be in love with you to follow you on social media. But these conversations falls on deaf ear with Jasmine, because Jasmine does not get it. Jasmine doesn't know boundaries, so she never gets it. Okay, she never gets it. I truly believe that someone from the management company probably called her. When you say the management company, are you talking about the homeowners association? Because Jasmine's house is owned by a private individual, but the house that she lives in is in a housing community, which is managed. Well, I ain't gonna say the homeowners association is the association that manages the community per se, right? So they manage the public pool. Well, it's not really public. It's public for the people who live in the community of the housing community. So there's a homeowners association that's attached to the housing community that she lives in. You have to pay fees to the homeowner association every year. The homeowner does, not Jasmine, but the homeowner does have to pay fees to the homeowners association. And that's basically to keep like the maintenance of the community. Like if it snows, they keep the snow, they keep they cut not necessarily your yard, but like the community, like if they got a playground and stuff like that. That's what the homeowners association typically is for. And the homeowners association is very strict with their rules, because you have to abide by the rules that the homeowner association sets, because again, they govern that housing community. So if people in Jasmine's neighborhood is probably complaining about the front of her yard or the back of her yard, and they complain to the homeowner association, they're not necessarily going to say anything to Jasmine, because they know Jasmine doesn't own that home. They're going to reach out to the owner of that home. And maybe because that could be, it could be the homeowners association got some complaints, and they, called the owner, and the owner came over to have a conversation. Jasmine said they did an inspection inside and outside her home. So I don't know. Let's see what else you guys are saying in the chat. I don't believe it. Jasmine views are extremely low, and she's getting more desperate and unhinged. Jasmine is a compulsive liar. She definitely is. A liar. Jasmine definitely does lie a lot, and it's unfortunate to be on the internet and to be grown as she is, to lie the way she does. But it's just what I'm trying to say is, why is it that Jasmine gets allegedly all this hate, and the moms that I just showed you guys on the screen, all these moms, you know what I'm saying? Even Peach, as much as people don't like Peach, she don't get that. She don't have that problem, right? Chrissy Marie, she don't have that problem. And if she does, she's not getting on the internet telling the world about it. She's handling it behind the scenes. Just Jazzy, she don't have that problem. Life of Kiera, she don't have that problem. Sabrina, and I'm just naming some moms that I have watched throughout the years. They don't have that problem. Hell, even Sky's life, okay? And child, she over there living in a nasty roach infested house. Child, ain't nobody calling her damn landlord, because although living nasty, in my opinion, is neglectful, but they're not calling CPS on her. At least she hasn't got on the internet and told the world that they're calling CPS on her. Okay. Let me see what else you guys are talking about in the chat. Hey, Essie. If they did, I'm sure they would have addressed the state of the home. T-Ron, you said my name. I'll look quick at my phone, right, Sabrina? Jazz not even making enough money to feed her kids or to go on trips. She supposedly has all these issues, but she still get on the internet doing the same thing. She tells those same lies about Keisha, that Keisha does. Yeah, because she wants the internet to feel sorry for her. And the reality is, girl, the world don't care nothing about you. Okay, the world does not care anything about you. You said when the mailbox needs painting, they send a letter. Yes, they do. They're very picky. SC Johnson, the homeowners association. Jazz is lying. You could tell she's lying. All right, y'all. So let's pull up her video. Okay, let's pull up her video. And we're gonna pull up the first one that was 7 minutes long. I think it was some type of interruption. I don't know if her phone died or she got a phone call, but we're gonna watch this first video. So give me a moment to pull that up on the screen.
You gonna go play?
Y'all, this is my thing with Jasmine. She tries really hard to prove a point to people on the internet instead of just putting up videos, sis. Just put up videos of whatever you feel like you want to vlog of whatever's going on in your home or in your life. Why not just put up regular videos? Like she's always on this internet trying to prove a pointless point.
Oh, they leave. They left. Y'all be having too much motherfucking time on your hands, bro. That shit's crazy. I literally just sat down and talked to my landlord. For what? What time is it? Alexa, what time is it? It's 7:32 p.m. 2 hours. Oh, y'all really don't. Y'all got too much time on your hands. People like a lot of y'all got too much time on your hands. It's really creepy. So fucking creepy. Right?
I agree, Scarlett. She says the people have too much time on their hands. No, sis, it seems like you have too much time on your hands. She definitely does need to mature. Like Jasmine just doesn't understand grown woman ish. She don't get it. I don't understand why maybe her mama don't have grown woman ish, so she can't relate it to Jasmine. But there definitely is a disconnect with this lady. Like I've seen a lot of people on the internet, but when it comes to these moms, Jasmine is she's clueless. Like the girl does not get it.
Too much time. Like now y'all are calling my landlord and saying crazy shit. It's so crazy. Like, and these people are really good and sweet people. And they like never, we haven't had any problems. And we know that like y'all pay your rent on time. Y'all pay before time. We never have. She's like, it's just these people are sending disturbing messages, and I just like my landlord coming over here and his wife to make sure I'm okay, to make sure the kids okay, make sure everybody's okay. Having to just do extra, we're doing extra because people are sitting here. She didn't even know. I had to literally tell them everything. Like this is what's been happening. And she was like, so she was even saying, like, brought up the CPS because y'all like to call CPS on people. And she was just like, well, she wants to just, it's a lot. Y'all just doing way too much.
She wants to just what? You never complete a sentence or a thought. She wants to just what, Jasmine? Your landlord wants to do what about CPS? Like all this to be on the internet? Like nobody's going through this but her. Like, has Jasmine ever look at the man in the mirror? Like, just sis, have you ever sat down and tried to figure out why are you allegedly going through what you're going through? Because nobody else on this internet is as bad as she is.
Too much time on y'all fucking hand. I don't give a fuck. Y'all not running me off YouTube, bitch. You got me fucked up. Y'all better hope and pray. Because y'all calling them. And if they take legal action against y'all, because they got money. You know what I'm saying? I might not have no money like them. They got money. Y'all really doing the most. So,
girl, you always talking about taking legal action. What type of action could the landlord take on somebody calling, giving their opinions about you and the stuff that you show on the internet? What type of legal action could they take? The worst thing that the landlord could do is block the number from their phone. That's it. What type of who committed a crime? Nobody's committed a crime. What crime was committed? If I contact your landlord and say, hey, this chick on my Jazzy Life, you rent to her, the address is blah 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 blah. Do you own that house? Oh, yeah, I'm the owner. Okay, well, I think it's some mess going on over there. She don't keep the house clean. She got some bugs and some broke stuff up in her house. Well, in her house because she rents it, but it's your house because you own it. Yeah, can you go over there? I think you should go over there. How's the landlord going to file charges against me? Shit, I'm trying to help the landlord. Like the girl, so like she's slow. She don't even get, like, half the time Jasmine be talking because she hears stuff from other people and she tries to put it in her life situation. And it don't be the same thing. So when she says it, it doesn't come out right. Because it doesn't make logical sense.
doing the absolute most because you don't like me. Calling the landlord. Saying y'all need to put them out of the house. You need to put her and her 5 keys out. Threatening my landlord and his wife. And we trying to figure out,
Threatening the landlord. So what you mean they threatening the landlord? If the landlord was threatened, did they go to the police first and then came to your house second? Because how is the landlord being threatened? They're just telling the landlord what they observed through your videos. How is that threatening?
y'all. Oh, and don't forget, whoever this person is got some of my personal information. I'm trying to figure out how the fuck they get my personal information. And I some shit that I never said, and having to tell her. I told her everything. I was like, look, I'll tell you. I mean, I don't mind talking to them, but I was just like, y'all doing too much now. Like, why would you want to get us kicked out of our house? Why would y'all want to get, hey, Korean girl, hey, mods, why would y'all want to get my kids put on the street? I'm even having to tell, I'm having to tell about everything. People didn't say that, brought up my baby daddy, and she was like, they said that was your ex-husband. Girl, no, we was never married. I'll just, ooh, child. Having to explain everything about that.
But even if they did tell them about Philip's situation, Philip don't live there. So what's the validity of them telling? Like the fact that you even repeated that, Philip doesn't live in your house. His kids do. So I don't understand. Like if the person did say something about Philip, like she's supposed to be put out because Philip has to register through the state of Texas and his kids live there. Like it's potential that he would have to come pick up the kids. It's not like he living there. He's coming, he's driving by in a car, pulling up in front of the house, waiting for his kids to come out and ride on down the street. Like, I don't understand what the problem is.
Yeah, they call my landlord. They've been harassing my landlord, his husband and my landlord and his wife. I'm pretty sure they got it. They looked up the information, my address, if it was on any website. Just harassing, trying to get us kicked out of our house. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Because God got me. God got me, y'all. I don't give a fuck. God got me. And all the people that's out here thinking that it's okay to do something like this to try to get a family kicked out of their house is
So this the narrative we going with, Jasmine. We going with the narrative that somebody trying to get you put out your house. You've been living in this house almost 3 years. So if somebody really don't like you, they just decided now 3 years later that they really don't like you. If somebody wanted to harass you and your landlord, sis, why they didn't call the landlord January, February, March, April of this year? Or why they didn't call the landlord in 2022? Or why they didn't call the landlord in 2021? Why would they call the landlord in 2023? You've been in this house almost 3 years, Jasmine. They just now deciding to call the landlord. Trust me, whoever, allegedly, if someone called the landlord, it's someone who's been watching you, right? So why would they just decide to call the landlord now? Like, it don't even make sense. If the landlord is being called and you're being, and people are complaining about you to the landlord, why now? The other day it was Pizzagate. Now it's Landlord Gate. Girl, if you don't go somewhere and sit down and figure out a video to put up and stop all this shenanigans, like, you think this stuff is really cute. And it's not. It makes you look very tacky. I'm gonna just say that. Because let's just say someone did call the landlord. And let's just say the landlord did come to your house, right? With concerns. Why is that the business of the whole internet? Because let's be honest. If someone called, it's one or two people. It's not 53,000 people that watch you calling. So what's the purpose of telling 53,000 people something that's personal? Right? And Chris be sitting there with these. Chris got to be about as slow as her, because, as a man, I wouldn't have, me personally, as a man, I wouldn't have patience for Jasmine and the BS that she alleges she go through on the internet. Like, for what? I want to live my life peaceful, not in chaos and confusion, which Jasmine likes. As a man, I couldn't deal with Jasmine because she got too much ish going on. Regardless if it's make believe or the truth, it's always something with her in this internet. She can never get on here every day and just put up a regular vlog. It's always, you guys are doing too much. You guys are calling. You guys are sending stuff to my house. It's always something. But you watch all these other moms and they're just going on with their regular lives. Like, so everybody just targeting Jasmine. It don't make sense.
is beyond me, and I'm gonna pray about it. And I'm gonna pray for that whoever that person is. I even showed them certain people that keep on doxing our information. I even told them about the pizzas. She was like, so they. I said, man, they are sending people to my house with fucking pizzas. It started last night. Why did I say fucking? I said pizza. It started last night. Let her know. It's so crazy.
I agree, Walt.
Shit's weird. My landlord is about straight facts, and they wanted to tell me. I keep saying she because they're in a business together. They was like, we're about facts and just straight document. We don't do no fake stuff. So they got their third party situation. I was like, go ahead, you can run our names. It's fine. You can run our background checks again. because if people call them saying that they got a background, we got backgrounds. Lord Jesus, these people doing so much.
So the landlord said that they gonna do a background check on y'all again. So the landlord's believing what's being said based off what you're telling us. If we are to believe what's going on, so you're saying the landlord is not taking your word for it. You've been living in his house for over 2 years, don't have any issues allegedly, but now all of a sudden because somebody called and dropped a dime on you, now the landlord's getting run background checks on y'all.
They gonna whoever doing this gonna fail in life. I really hope that they don't have kids. I hope that they don't. I hope that whoever they are, they live with their mom.
Okay, so her phone allegedly started messing up, and that's when the video ended. So what's your guys' thoughts? What do y'all think? What do y'all think is really going on? I mean, you know what? You said I hope I never see Jasmine again. Taylor said the real problem is that Chris isn't helping with any of those bills, so she resorts to these shenanigans. Imagine having a useless man sitting in your home not contributing. Well, the funny part about it is when Jasmine came back for her second live, Chris was in the background playing the game, screaming and hollering at the game, while Jasmine was sitting at the table pleading for her life, her and her kids' life. Honey, Chris was so unbothered by what she was going through. Child, he was over there screaming and hollering at the video game while this girl over here allegedly worried about if they gonna have a place to live next month. Chris was so unbothered by what she was going through. Honey, that the fact that he was playing the game. Okay? So all of you guys saying that he's lying, that she's lying. I think 10 years from now, Jasmine will regret her life choices. You can't get back your 20s. I agree. Mercedes says the landlord probably just don't want to renew the lease with them. She making excuses. That could be a possibility too. Because when that landlord allegedly came over there unannounced and caught Jasmine off guard, he probably saw some things that he was not happy to see of how his property is being taken care of. Yeah, he don't. Chris don't care, honey. Chris was in the background playing that game, and baby, Jasmine was on the internet crying and pleading for her life to leave her and her family alone. And child Chris was over there playing that damn game. He wasn't even worried about what she was had going on. Now, in the beginning, he did say something a little bit, you know, leave me and my family alone. But he didn't do like he did when the internet contacted his aunt. I don't know if y'all remember a few years ago when Jasmine was living in apartments, the internet contacted Chris's aunt on Facebook. Honey, Chris did a whole live all by himself talking about that situation. Now, allegedly, now at that time, Legend wasn't in the picture. Now Legend is in the picture. Your seed is in the middle of this. And child, he's set to the side of Jasmine. He didn't even get on the camera. When they contacted his aunt on Facebook, honey, Chris got on here hooping and hollering and screaming, leave my people alone, leave my family alone. But now you're messing with your alleged livelihood, you know, a place for you and Jasmine, her kids, and your son to sleep. And you sit over to the side on the couch playing the game while Jasmine on here fighting for her life. Shelby said, your man is supposed to share and enhance your life to make it better, not bring you down to the point you have to resort to things to make money. But you know what? You're right, Shelby, but that's Jasmine's fault, not Chris. Like, look, if I was in a situation where I didn't have to do anything and the man that I'm dealing with is doing everything, you don't think I'm going to take advantage of that situation? Like, if Chris is not made to do anything or anything worth much to talk about, why are we getting mad at Chris? You got to get mad at her, not mad at Chris. Right, Miss Pettis? If she like it, I love it. Whomever contacted the landlord is pleased to see that she's bothered. Just too easy to get her to move like a puppet. But that's my thing. I think Wait For It said it in the beginning, or somebody said it in the beginning. Not Wait For It. It was someone with the address, Chris's job's address or whatever, as their sign-on name, that said that a reactor said that she contacted the landlord, and the landlord's, I guess the reactor said the landlord said they never had a conversation with Jasmine. But my thing is, who is the landlord to some anonymous person calls them and question them about a conversation Jasmine had on a live stream? Why would the landlord even sit there and have a conversation with somebody that has no vested interest in the property that he's renting to Jasmine? Like, that confused me. I wish, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Like, I wish a landlord would. Somebody from the internet contact you, and you running all my business to somebody on the internet, and you can't even confirm who you talking to. The landlord is talking to strangers, allegedly, from what the person in my chat just said. So that, to me, that confused me. But my thing with Jasmine is, she said in her live stream yesterday, and the people in her chat wanted to insinuate that reactors like myself and others are could potentially be the source that's contacting Jasmine's alleged landlord situation. And all I'm thinking is, for what? No, really, y'all. What would I benefit from contacting Jasmine's landlord? I'm not. I benefit from when she puts stuff on the internet, I go live and I react to it. That's what I benefit from. I'm not going to benefit calling Jasmine's landlord unless I film it and put it up as a video. That's the only way I'm going to benefit from that. I don't have no reasons to call any of these people's landlords, doctor's offices, food stamp place, social security office, they mammies, they grandmammies, they daddies, they grandpappies. I don't have no reason to call any of these people. All I do is react to the content. That's it. But Jasmine sits up in there because, she feels like, even if she feels like it's one or two or three reactors, Jasmine likes to take everybody and put them all in one little bunch. And us as reacting to the moms, we react to the moms individually. At least I do. I react to them individually. What Olivia got going on over there, I don't put it on Jasmine. What Jasmine got going on in her house, I don't put it on Olivia. But in my opinion, Jasmine's so slow. She likes to take everybody and put them all in one little pile. When Jasmine is the reason why the reactions ever started, because she felt it was relatable and she was comfortable with putting, stuff like her kids, situations with her children. Her kids busted out the bedroom window. When she lived in her apartment, her two oldest daughters were fighting in the bedroom and busted out the window. Jasmine thought that would be a good idea to put that on the internet and tell the internet about it. But all that did was show that you're not watching your children. All that showed was your lack of responsibility to your children, because your children should never have a chance to bust out any windows if you're watching them. At the time, she was living in a 2-bedroom apartment, everybody on one floor. How is it that your girls were fighting to the point where the window get busted and you even let it get to that point? As a mother, you should have been watching your kids. But she put that on the internet because she felt like that's relatable. Yvonne said the owner's only concern is their investment, the home, which I totally understand. That's it. The owners are concerned with their home. Okay. They don't care nothing about. Jasmine says we pay our rent before the first. And that's great, Jasmine. But they're not holding on to you for that reason. Don't you think that there'll be another person that can move into that house and pay the rent before the first or on the first too? Like, you're not the only person in the world doing that, sis. Yes, I agree, Z. She likes to have the pity party, but the reality is Jasmine is the reason for her demise when it comes to this internet, because over the years people have grown a lack of disrespect for Jasmine, and it's because of how she treats her children and the things that she puts out on the internet. That's the majority of the reason, because these other moms, shit, even Olivia, she's not dealing with that. She doesn't deal with the people calling her landlord and people calling CPS on her. Olivia didn't deal with that, because one thing I can say, prior to the situation with her and Gerard breaking up, for the most part, Olivia didn't show neglect when it came to her children. Now, I ain't gonna lie, Olivia would not comb those girls' hair as often as she should. But if the children were having some type of behavioral issues, Olivia didn't just pass it off and just tuned it out. She would be attentive to her children. I would say that. Even Christy. Chrissy even showed being attentive to her children. Now, obviously, Chrissy had some situation where her kids was laying on dirty, pissy mattresses, but hopefully that's not still going on over there at her house. Okay. Everything is not for others to see. That's true, but that's the thing with these moms on this internet. They feel like the world needs to be, because they feel like it's relatable, and somewhere, somebody somewhere out there is probably going through her same thing. And maybe, sis, but that's the thing, like, you need to learn discernment and to understand everything that goes on in your house is not for the internet to see and know about. You can still vlog your life, but you got to be the Jasmine has to be the steward of her home, especially of her children. And if you want to do the internet, but you got to learn how to protect yourself and your children while you're doing it. Exactly, 3420. Jasmine has shown a lot of neglectful behavior. Before Chris came into the picture, we all felt like Jasmine didn't even like her kids. The way she would treat them and let those kids scream and holler to the top of their lungs. Jasmine claimed she was dealing with depression and stuff. And that's my thing. Like, depression is definitely a real thing. And people have to learn how to live with depression and still cope with life. But Jasmine showed a lot of times, in a lot of our opinions, that she didn't like her life and she didn't like her children. And that turned a lot of people off for her. Let's see. What happened to keeping your personal business inside your home and off the internet? Jasmine doesn't understand it. Again, she doesn't know boundaries. She doesn't understand boundaries. So she continues to sensationalize stuff that's going in her home for clicks and views. And then it always backfires on her every damn time. Like, Jasmine, plan your content. See, Jasmine's biggest problem is she don't plan her content. Since plan your content out. Jasmine should be at the point now that she should be 3 weeks ahead in videos. Jasmine shouldn't even be doing day by day videos. She should be 3 weeks ahead in content. And if she would do, and in my opinion, and maybe go live once or twice a month, right? Her constantly going live as if she has nobody to talk to, and it's like absurd to me, because again, Jasmine never treats this internet like a viable way, a viable source of income. Jasmine gets on this internet and just puts up a video and talks, and doesn't understand that, sis, your channel is a brand. And the brand that you have developed on this internet, in a lot of people's eyes, is a neglectful woman to her children. She do, Latoya, I agree. I definitely agree. You said YouTube isn't her job, it's her companion. Oh my goodness, Z, that was a great analogy. She doesn't. You're right, Mastermind. She doesn't. So, okay, so we're going to go ahead and pull up this next video. And this is the one that was a longer video. We're not going to watch all of it, obviously, because it's too long. But we're going to watch a few minutes of it. Now, Jasmine did put out a PSA announcement to her followers yesterday. And she basically was like, if you guys see anybody using my content, flag their channel. And I'm like, I mean, Jasmine, if that's what the people feel like they need to do, okay. Again, I'm not Jasmine's problem. I'm the least of her problems. In my opinion, Jasmine is her biggest problem. Sis, you are your biggest problem. Okay. And because here's the thing, y'all. Jasmine has been dealing with the internet for years. And the fact that you've been on here over 10 years, and sis, you still ain't got it right. Yeah, that's an issue for you, sis. That's not an issue for me. That's an issue for you. Right? I wish I would. Now, here's the thing, you guys. Yes, we get on this internet and we talk about these moms and what they got going on. because, we find it to be interesting, but in no way, shape, form, or fashion, when I get off this internet, do I sit around and figure out a way how I can destroy or ruin anybody's lives. Okay. Because that's not what this reaction is for. They put this stuff out on the internet for the world to consume. We watch it, we talk about it, and we move on. Now maybe some people get stuck in the sauce, but that's their business. I don't. Hey, Go Geeta, what's good, sis? All right. So let me pull up this next video. So for Jasmine to even think that I would have anything to do with people calling her home, like, sis, call it like it is. You said you showed the landlord pictures of people that could be doxing you, then you keep it at them people. Because one thing's for sure, honey, I bet you my face, my channel wasn't shown, because I ain't never doxed your ass. Okay. Never. I don't have no reason to dox you. I don't want to dox you. Girl, I could care less what you and Chris got going on over there. Let's be honest, y'all. It's a reaction video. But if Chris don't want to help her, if Chris love her, don't love her, if Chris sleep there 1 day a week, 7 days a week, baby, that's her business. Okay. I could care less about that. Like I said, she put it on the internet. We talk about it and we move on. All right. Let's get into this video.
Hey. What the hell I do by my aunt? Going outside. Hey. Yeah, I want to come back live and talk to y'all. I was just irritated. I got irritated real quick.
So let me stop for a minute. We got, looks like 131 likes. I'm gonna need y'all to get these likes up, okay? I'm gonna need y'all to get these likes up. We had 182. We got 600 in the chat. We need to get to live to 300 likes, okay? We need to get to live to 300 likes, because at the end of the day, even if you are some of the people that was in Jasmine's chat yesterday running your mouth, sis, you still here, okay? Now, you can hit the like, you can hit the dislike, you can do whatever you want to, but at the end of the day, y'all come here for a reason. So I'm gonna need y'all to hit that like button.
So irritated. I was just like, oh my God, I be wanting to fight people, punch them, okay? Punch the screen, but let's be realistic. Hey y'all. Hey everyone. Hi Papa, what do you want? Why are you taking the Barbie stuff out? I'm fine. There's some people out here just doing the most, wanting to get us kicked out of our house. If it ain't one thing, it's another. First, it was we're gonna call these people and order pizza. Now it's let's contact her landlord and get her kicked out. I get it. People like got issues and problems, and they just don't like me because it's me. But it's like, why would you want my babies that's over there, those beautiful babies sitting right there, the other ones are in their room, but why would you want, did you say, yes, my landlord has watched my channel, but nobody's ever messaged them on the stuff that people are messaging them.
So that's the thing, sis. If your landlord, sis, no, really, why is the landlord allegedly watching your channel? For what? Watch it for what? Make sure you don't tear up his house. Like that, girl, I wish that's just like your landlord showing up at your job. Okay. Say, for instance, you work at I don't know, Lowe's. Okay. And your landlord knows you work at Lowe's, because obviously when you apply for the house, you told them where you work at, right? And the next thing you know, every other day, your landlord showing up at Lowe's just to make sure you showing up to work every day. Honey, me and my landlord would have a conversation. Now, granted, obviously she had to tell her landlord she do social media for a living. But girl, you didn't have to tell him the name of your channel. All you had to do was show them YouTube printouts that you get for your check stub every damn month. That's all you had to show him as far as your channel. But see, Jasmine loved telling people, I'm a YouTuber. And that shit backfires on her every time.
No one's ever did that, she said. She's like, it was scary, and people are doing the extra trying to get us kicked out. Why would you want to take away their home? Then where we gonna live at? We have to live at home.
Where y'all gonna live at? I mean, shit, isn't that up to you and Chris to figure out? Girl, at the end of the day, if your home, y'all think about it. If your house was potentially getting ready to get taken from you based off something that you did wrong or someone alleging you did wrong, would you be as calm as Jasmine? Honey, I would be so scared and nervous. I'd be, baby, the internet would be the last thing on my mind. The fact that you feel like you don't know what the decision, allegedly, if this is true, you don't know the decisions that your landlord is going to make with your lease moving forward. And you sitting on here showing us pictures of the kids walking around the house like the people's supposed to just start pouring in donations to you. Like your situation is situations of many, many people on the internet now, or in the world, I should say. There's somebody right now dealing with the situation that they're gonna have to move because the landlord's not renewing their lease for whatever those reasons may be. Since you're not the only person.
Where are they gonna live at? Y'all want us to sleep in the car? It doesn't really, it's not that it don't bother.
You think the landlord, Sean, you said Jasmine lost her lease and you feel like this is a YouTube cover up. You know what? That's a possibility. There's another channel on here, Wine Glass and Chill. She put out a video yesterday saying that her apartment complex that she's lived in for 8 years, and she's lived in 4 different units in that apartment complex in the past 8 years, has decided not to renew her lease. Okay. So, and she has to be out of her house by September the 30th. And basically, they're not going to renew her lease based off an argument she had with them when she was pregnant last year. So I guess they still holding grudges. And so they said, when your lease is up, we're not renewing it. So she's out. I guess she's out now out here frantically trying to find somewhere to live. And so, Sean, you're right. That could be a possibility. The constant violations of her yard, because I'm pretty sure the homeowners association, the neighbors have probably said something to the homeowners association. Because let's be honest, y'all, when you're a renter in a realm of homeowners, they expect for you to have the same respect for your property as if the homeowner does, right? And Jasmine got all that junk in her garage. Well, her garage really, because if you keep the garage door closed, nobody knows what's in your garage. But if she truly has like a messed up front yard and trash in the front yard and trash in the backyard, because let's be honest, if your garage look like that, probably the back of your house and the front of your house looks like that too, because typically people like to keep their garages organized. Jasmine's garage looked like a whole junkyard.
Bother me because it does bother me because this is my household, this is my house, this is where we live. So it bothers me to a certain extent because who wants to lose their house behind somebody else? My house, the kids, this is where they lay their head. People said all kind of stuff, and she was just like, they looked around their house, they checked their house, everything. I mean, I didn't have a problem with it, and she just voiced to me everything that's been said. They did a maintenance check around the house and everything, and people just miserable.
When they did the maintenance check on the house, Jasmine, what did they find? Well, what did they see? Did they have a conversation with some of the things that they found, that they saw?
Yeah, me plus 3.
Hey, Vaughn.
Thank you, love. Yeah, people are just going. You know, the pizza thing was, to me, it wasn't hurting me. You know what I'm saying? The pizza thing wasn't hurting me. But whenever you go as far as trying,
Vaughn, I'm glad you brought that up. Jasmine does seem very miserable here lately. She does complain a lot. I don't know if it's her finances are bothering her or she has some other personal issues going on. And that's the unfortunate thing for Jasmine. She has built her life around social media. And there's obviously going to be times where she don't feel like being on social media. So when she don't put up a video, she uses live streams to replace her videos. But yeah, it is kind of off-putting to every time you come to her channel. There's always some type of drama or debacle with this lady. There's never many times where you come to Jasmine's channel and she has good news to share. It's always some type of, you guys did this to me, you guys hate me, you guys want me off the internet, why. Jasmine is a miserable individual. Like, she's so miserable, and it's unfortunate that she feels that way, or it appears that that's what's going on. Like, at this point, Jasmine, figure out what you need to do to make your life a little bit more pleasing to you. Because let's be honest, the kids are not going anywhere. Okay. So you have to figure out a way to make your life, more happy with your kids being there. That's the thing, y'all. They went the whole entire summer, and Chris and her planned nowhere to take those children. Those kids didn't go anywhere. Before the summer hit, when Jasmine was at the McDonald's, y'all was sitting in there, or she was either at McDonald's or Chick-fil-A, one of those places, and she was asking people for ideas to take the kids to go for the summer. People in her chat was sitting there giving her all type of ideas. Baebay, that did nothing for Jasmine. Jasmine listened to all those people in the chat talking about different places, and that girl didn't go anywhere. Yet again, another summer, and Jasmine took those kids nowhere. She didn't even do anything this summer. You know, nothing. She didn't do anything this summer. All Jasmine, someone said that earlier in the chat. YouTube is Jasmine's companion. And that's so unfortunate that that girl lives for YouTube. Jasmine is more infatuated with YouTube than she is that bachelor's degree she holds for kinesiology.
to make sure my kids don't have a home, that's of course that's gonna hurt me. Because this is where we live, this is where my kids lay their head. I don't care what you say, like, you don't pay the rent. You know what I'm saying? You don't sit here and Alexa turn off, pay them every month and stuff like that. So it's just like, why would you want to take that away from my kids? Hey, Jemiah. All right, babe.
If Chris is paying $600 in child support, that just obviously shows either Chris never had a job prior to him and Jasmine being together, or Chris was never paying child support prior to this most recent situation where now his check is being taken for child support, right? Because why would the $600 all of a sudden now be affecting you when you told us that Chris always paid his child support? So why would the $600 be affecting you now if it wasn't affecting you last year? Or if Chris has always paid child support and always had a job since he's been with you, then the $600, y'all should be used to that by now. It's just obvious that the $600 child support situation, Chris paying child support, just started. But again, sis, you decided to have a baby with a man that wasn't even taking care of the other kids he already had on this earth. So me personally, if he's not taking care of the 3 children he already had prior to the one he had with you, how well is he going to take care of the one he has with you when he didn't want to take care of the other 3 he had before he had one with you?
All right, y'all. Whatever, boy. Just pray to give it to God. Whatever's making false reports, should be careful. Because karma. Yeah, whoever's doing anything, like karma is gonna bite them in the ass. It's gonna bite them in the ass. Hey, it's gonna bite them. Yeah, and
then when a nigga get out of character, they want to say, "Oh, he's an asshole," and he beats on Jasmine.
yeah, and somebody,
he's an asshole, but when a nigga quiet, y'all want to fuck with him.
somebody just said that on my Instagram too. They was like, "No wonder why Chris don't like y'all. Y'all really be fucking with his family."
The ones who support us and be, positive. I love y'all. Much love. As far as you motherfuckers that hating on me
I
and
agree,
try to get me
Vaughn.
caught up in some bullshit, fuck you. That's how I feel. I swear to God, that's how I feel. Y'all talk about my son, y'all talk about my lady, y'all talk about all my kids. Fuck y'all, nigga. That's how I'm feeling. Like, really. Fuck you. Like, seriously. And whoever come with you, fuck you. Straight up.
Wow. So Chris said he ain't feeling y'all. He said y'all talk about him. You talk about his child. You talk about his lady. You talk about his other kids. He said F you. Now, Jasmine, again, you said this was a family channel. Sis, I'm telling you, I know you feel warm and fuzzy inside when Chris comes and saves the day for you, or what you think is him saving the day. But Jasmine, I'll tell you, it's never a good look for your channel, ma'am. Your moms follow your channel. Maybe some people in the chat think that's cute. I don't think that's cute, because instead of him walking around beating his chest, why not put you and your woman and or your lady, what you call her? Why not put y'all in a better situation, um, where Jasmine will have to be doing what she's doing, right? It's funny how he always called Jasmine his lady instead of his woman. I don't get that, but okay.
No, for real. And it's
then y'all trying to fucking harass, bullshit. Then y'all want to sit up here and have people check on us. Make that make sense, bro. Y'all think y'all hurting us, but if something was to happen, y'all really hurting the kids. That's what y'all not understanding. Y'all hurting the kids, bro. Y'all hurting us, yes, but y'all hurting the kids. The kids is being hurt.
No, not necessarily, because unfortunately, if it would be an unfortunate event if Jasmine did have to move based off the YouTube calling her landlord, that would be unfortunate for her. But Jasmine, you and Chris make money, right? Well, you just find you another place to live, and this time, work harder of not letting people know where you live at. I mean, let's be honest, y'all. Um, Jasmine, if Jasmine really wanted, Jasmine know what it is to be on the internet. She know how this internet thing works. If Jasmine was really that concerned, she would have safeguarded this situation a long time ago. Jasmine's not that concerned. She actually, in my opinion, she actually relishes in this type of drama because, again, Jasmine lives in a chaos, confused lifestyle.
Y'all weird, bro. Y'all childish, my nigga. Grow up. Whoever sits beside you or lay beside you need to be telling you fucked up. Straight up. They need to be telling you fucked up and you wrong for how you acting with these people.
Yeah.
Instead of sitting up there laughing with you and thinking this shit is cute. The shit is not cute, bro. This shit is not player at all. I'm gonna repeat myself. That shit is not player at all. That shit is not cute for you to try to damage a family, nigga.
Yeah.
Move the fuck around, nigga. Worry about your bills, nigga.
Right.
Worry about that rent. Worry about that light bill. You understand me? Worry about what you got going in your own life, nigga. You worry about somebody else, bro.
She said, I know that's right, Chris.
That shit lame as hell, bro. You get no player points for that. Nigga don't respect you for that, bro. Whoever, like I said, whoever's laying next to you, they need to be telling you, they need to be on your ass and tell you wrong for that. That shit ain't cool. Because what if somebody do y'all like that? You ain't gonna know what to do.
They're gonna be scared, crying. Scared.
But we so confident what we got going over here, we ain't worried about really laughing at you suckers, nigga.
It's crazy. People are mad that Jazz has a great relationship with a man that loves her and they can't break her. They want to break our entire family. It is really, at this point, it's like it's like a game to them. They like, oh my God, I want to break her. And I think it's more so because, you know, it's they want to break me. They always want to break all the mommies in the sector.
No, sis, they don't always want to break all the mommies in the sector. I just showed you guys within this reaction several moms that I've never seen do videos complaining like Jasmine does. Okay. There's never a happy day with Jasmine. This girl can't go 30 days without putting up some type of drama video or live stream. She literally can't go 30 days. But then you have all these other moms on YouTube that don't have those issues. I'm gonna say this one more time. The root of Jasmine's problem is the neglectful behavior she has shown when it comes to her children on this internet. That is the root of her problem. That's why a lot of people don't respect Jasmine nor like her because of her. Now, me personally, I think Jasmine is a goofy. I'm gonna even lie, okay? But do I not respect her? I mean, I respect her as a woman. You know what I'm saying? I don't, because she's never done anything to me, right? Because let's be honest, y'all, the behavior she has shown to her children, that's between her and her children, right? As they get older, they're gonna have to take that up with her. I don't have a problem with her as far as that, because I feel like the whooping God gonna put on you, there's nothing compared to what I could say or do, right? So I don't, maybe she needs to, she talks about other people karma. Maybe you need to think about your own karma, sis. If you would treat your children better, maybe you wouldn't be dealing with the stuff that you deal with daily when it comes to the internet and maybe other personal things in your life, right? Let's be honest.
Come on. Go. Come on, baby. They'll be like, you coming? I ain't going. Come on. Hey, y'all. Hey, my Guyanese. Hey, Kareem. Hey, sis. Yeah, it's really, at this point, it's just like, my kids is happy, y'all. And, I hate that I've told my landlord about certain stuff and things like that, but I hate that I have to go as far as, showing more like that. I feel uncomfortable a little bit because, me being a content creator, you're gonna always feel uncomfortable. She wasn't happy with everything because she was like, these people are weird. Like, why are y'all are like basically harassing them?
So you're right, S. Wiseman. Jasmine definitely does not have any self-awareness or emotional intelligence. Jasmine literally does not like to take accountability for her own actions. Right now, there has been times where Jasmine has got on the internet and apologized to the people about her appearance, and she apologized to the people about the My Shabby Life videos. Again, those were videos that Jasmine put out, and someone decided to do a compilation of her own behavior. No one edited that video no more than to put the videos together, but they didn't manipulate her conversation. Everything that was said in those videos was out of her own mouth. Everything that was shown in those videos were her own actions. But Jasmine feels like she's going to go up the ranks to 100K by doing this. Now, again, if someone actually did call her landlord, they need to be ashamed of themselves. Because let's be honest, y'all, calling her landlord does what? It causes additional problems for her. And one thing she said, it is right. It will affect her children if she has to hurry up and uproot her kids and find some place to live, But again, Jasmine being the adult and being the mother of those children, and if the internet is something that you want to do, then you have to learn how to safeguard your family while you're doing the internet. There is a way to do it because there's many people on the internet to do it every day. They show less and say less. They give the people just enough to keep them entertained to come back to watch the next episode, but they don't do stuff like an hour and a half live streams, or they don't do 3-4 hour live streams asking people for $1 Cash App for questions. You know what I'm saying? Or get real smug on this internet and talk about my man and y'all hating and y'all want my life. Jasmine says in this live stream that the people want her life. Jasmine, nobody wants your life, sis. Trust me, because based on the way you come on here complaining about it every day, who the hell would want that? Jasmine feels like people want her social status in quotation marks. People want her social status when it comes to the internet. Based off Jasmine's own accounts, her social status in quotation marks is not even helping her economically. So why the hell would somebody else want it? Instead of Jasmine scouring the internet for smaller channels to morph or mimic, since you need to watch these chicks out here that's doing big things. Because what you're doing, I mean, it's not growth. That's Jasmine's biggest problem. She hasn't shown growth. The only thing Jasmine has done on here is aged. She's gotten older, but she hasn't shown growth when it comes to her content. No growth whatsoever. And you know what? People can have said this to Jasmine in many different languages. I don't know what language other than I'm assuming she understands English, but she acts like she doesn't understand it. To be honest with y'all, these reactions for a lot of times were to help a lot of these moms to see the things that they're not seeing, right? Because Jasmine may not see what we see, but the reality is we're seeing something. If we're able to see it, it's actually happening, sis. You won't admit it. Jasmine needs to change her mindset, literally, right? It's not sitting in Peach's class listening to her. No, literally, sis, you need to change your mindset. Because if you're worried about the livelihood of you and your children, then you need to act like it when it comes to this internet. Getting on here telling people that the y'all calling the landlord, we didn't even need to know that.
For what? These are some sweet people, y'all. They real sweet. Like, I love them. She was like, we never have problems. And it's like I said, they work together. Her and her husband never have problems. They never had anything. Like, we pay our rent before rent is due and never had problems. So she was just like, oh my God, like, a lot of people don't understand how social media works, especially people that don't really deal with the social media realm, and they just kind of just are in their own just regular day-to-day life. And that's understandable, but I had to like really, I feel like I had to break it down. Now they've seen my page and stuff, but as far as like seeing how it works, like what else comes with it type stuff. But I never had to break it all the way down to, yeah, I wasn't expecting these people to find out your information and call you and email you and text you. I wasn't expecting them to do all that shit. That's so true. Yeah. Hey, girl.
Girl, she said that they called, text, email the landlord. Why would they be texting the landlord? Now, I'm not saying they couldn't get a phone number or an address, but how they get a phone?
Hey, Jasmine fam, sorry you're going through this. They need to stop. And it's crazy because they're not gonna stop. They're gonna keep going. And people were saying like I'm lying about the pizza shit. Why? First of all, they said that I was lying to a point that I delivered pizza to my house. Why would I deliver pizza to? Why would I waste anybody's time? I am not. I mean, I am obsessed with myself, but I am not that fucking invested to where I'm gonna go and waste somebody else's time, their job, and deliver pizza to my house and not take the pizza. Like, it's.
I agree with you. It's Tam. It's Tam says content creating isn't a character trait. She thinks it is. I agree. Z says she docs herself, her kids' school, and everything else. Of course, they found the landlord. Yeah, that's true. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Even I don't get into the whole doxing thing because you guys know that's happened to me, right? So I don't get into that, right? I don't get into the people that do stuff like that. That's just not my forte because in my opinion, just because you're on the internet, I don't feel like your address should be, because she does have children. But again, Jasmine needs to, she needs to be more aware of that than the people doing it. Because again, the people that's doing it is not going to reason with you, right? Jasmine's trying to reason with the people that is allegedly doxing her, but the moral of the story is they're not going to get it, because obviously if somebody is doing that, they're not a reasonable individual, so they're not going to listen to your reasoning, right? So Jasmine likes to get on here and reason with the people and make the people understand, but Jasmine doesn't have, she's not articulate enough to get a point across like that. So y'all, I'm gonna end it right here. This live was literally, it's about another hour left of the live, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all. And I can't do that. That's too long for me. Jasmine, we already been on here an hour and a half, and it's yeah, no, I'm sorry. If you guys want to continue to finish up her live, I stopped at the 11-minute mark. So you definitely can go over there and finish up her live, but it's basically a lot of redundant conversation. She got to the point where she started blaming, reactors like myself and others, for her demise, as if, I would even think about getting on the internet and putting her address out here, or calling her landlord, although there's not a landlord to call for me because I own my house. You can't call the landlord for me. You can't call CPS on me because I don't have little kids, but she does. So she needs to worry about that. Like, those are things that she needs to, acknowledge, and she needs to figure out her way around that situation if she wants to continue to be on the internet. But that's pretty much my spiel for today, y'all. Okay. Timar, we don't go over there. No thanks. Right, Nisha. Chris cussed her subs out again. I mean, he's gonna stay cussing because he don't respect Jasmine. Here's the thing, y'all. Chris doesn't respect Jasmine. He doesn't respect what she does for a living. In the beginning, Chris was with it because Jasmine was just showing him or telling him how much money she was potentially making on the internet. Once Chris really got into the meat and potatoes of what him and what Jasmine had going over there, that man lost all respect for what she's doing. Chris would rather date a nurse than to date a woman like Jasmine who does YouTube for a living, because although she makes money off of it, it's too much, in his opinion, it's too much that comes behind it. Chris just keeps his mouth shut because Jasmine takes care of Chris, right? So that's why he kind of keeps his mouth shut. But you trust and believe, Chris will find a woman who works a 9 to 5 somewhere and making just as much money as Jasmine, if not more, and he'll be out the door, okay? Because dealing with Jasmine and this nonsense on the internet, like I said to you guys earlier, Chris a good one. Because, baby, if I was Jasmine's man, I would have been gone. Because I was like, girl, call me when you get a job that is not so stressful, okay? Thank you, sis. Thank you, Monica. I appreciate that. All right, y'all. I'm gone. I'm out of here. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I apologize for the really long live, but I thank you guys for tuning in. Let me read Janae's comment real quick. There's no need to finish it. She just repeats herself over and over again, but takes no accountability for any of the alleged situation. I personally feel like she's lying. You think she's lying? I don't know, y'all. I'm going to be honest with you. I think the landlord did come to her house. I really do. I feel like the landlord did come to her house. But at the end of the day, if he did or if he didn't, Jasmine needs to deal with that situation. We just watching, y'all. Okay. All right. I'm gone, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for showing up. I'm going to see y'all in the next one. Remember, sub what you love. Bye.